So there were a bunch of comments on the Remarkable Paper Pro video I did asking me to take a look at another e-ink tablet, the Supernote Manta. And frankly, I'm glad that you made me do it. This thing seems pretty interesting. It's kind of wacky. It's a modular tablet. It's repairable. We'll get into that. It's got funny kind of touch bars on the side that we're gonna take a look at. And it's running a slightly more open version of Android than you might see on some other e-ink tablets on the market, meaning you can sideload things, you can sync whatever you want. That's exciting. And I'm also excited that this video is sponsored by Opera, but we'll tell you more about that later, don't worry about it. All right, here we go. We'll put that there. Okay, also in here, we have, oh, it's a screwdriver. And I thought for a second that was a stylus, but it's not, and you can tell because I am not a pen. Screws for pen loop replacement. Why do we need pen loop replacements? Oh, are they different sizes? They're different sizes for different pens because one thing about this that I was going to say later, but I guess I'll say now, is that the Supernote will work with a large variety of pens. Because it's unpowered, it uses a ceramic bit thing. We'll get into it, I promise. I have to say, this is the unboxing experience with the most amount of things in here that I don't even know what they are. What is this? Is this like a leather? Oh, it says on it, cuttable pen loop. Okay, so you got two other sizes of the elastic ones and then you can make your own. DIY. That's the whole theme here, guys. And then of course the USB-C cord in the middle with a right angle connector. You love to see it. 1 meter. They're always 1 meter. So obviously on the front here, we have the 10.7 inch screen. It's got a 1920 by 2560 resolution or 300 PPI. And for the e-ink enthusiasts out there, this is a Carta 1300 display. So just, yeah, I know. Also on the front display, we have these lines on the side, which are touch sensitive. On the top here, we have the USB-C port on the left side and a power button on the right side. In these little divots that Supernote, I guess, is saying that those evoke the kind of mandibles of the manta ray. On the right side, we got nothing except the aforementioned pen loop. On the bottom, another whole whack of nothing. And on the left side, things get interesting. We've got some pins for the attachments. On the back though, is where things get really juicy, okay? So we've got these two Torx screws that we can take out if we want to replace that pen loop. We've got 4 rubberized feet, which make it so that when you're drawing, it's not gonna move so much. Yeah, it's got grip. Okay, we'll do the folio. We'll do the folio now. I like their whole aesthetic here. It just makes me feel taken care of. I like when a product, when you start using it and it's like, hey, we thought about these things, all right, we got you. That's how it feels, opening up and seeing a thoughtfully designed panel like this. So you line those up with the holes and just click it in. Oh, not much of an audible click, but it goes in and that's, it's not coming off. They only have the half folio and they don't have another option that could protect the back, which you'd think that you would want, given that you have this easily removable panel, which I haven't removed yet. It is nice and thin and you're protecting your screen, but just be aware that there isn't at least a first party option for a full back protection as well. Pull that in it, okay. Well, it's solid. And that was the half folio. Now before we get to anything else, I wanna see how you take the back off because that's the whole thing here. Okay, the way that they do it in the video is they pop up one side like so, and then they kind of go along and they just kind of push it in until it pops up. Yeah, there you go. Then that takes the whole thing off. This module right here is the SoC. So this is basically the computer that's inside. This is the battery, and then there's a micro SD slot here as well. This thing comes with 32 gigs of storage, which isn't a ton in the year 2025, and you can expand it if you want, so that's pretty decent. It appears that there are these Torx screws all around the edges of this assembly that look like if you remove those, you could take the screen out, because there are more specific screws for the SoC module here, 3 screws holding the battery in, And on this side, it's held in by a little tab I can see. Right now on their website, they only have replacement parts for these, so it's not like you can go and get a bigger battery or a more powerful processor and swap it in as of now. Maybe that'll change in the future. Regardless, it's a huge win to have a device like this on the market that is fully repairable and like openable. I feel like every time I use an e-ink tablet, it's like somebody like, you know, deking me out or something. It's like, oh, it's turning on, and it's like, but then it just does like a whole screen flash refresh, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And it's like, no, not yet. Okay, a little touchpad here that you're not gonna show because it'll reveal the password. I like how they've worded this. I am willing to participate. I'm not willing. I like to see that this tablet basically has like keyboard shortcuts without the keyboard. You're gonna be drawing something? I didn't like that, undo. We'll see. One finger slide down, do it. Oh, and then tap to create a new note. Okay. See, a tutorial. Flash back to the, what was it, Big Me ink note color? It's like throwing me into the deep end, full of sharks and sea urchins. No, even clicking the home button won't take me away from offline books. How do I just go back to the apps? I don't know. Start handwriting. Can I write with my finger? No, it knows that I'm using my finger, and it's ashamed. So this is the Supernote pen. Never wears out, never surrenders. 0.7 millimeters, ultra fine nib. 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity, which of course you got, and it never needs to be charged because, as I said, there's no battery inside. And the nibs thing is interesting because, you know, the Remarkable Paper Pro, other e-ink tablets, they have these replaceable nibs, and you run out as they kind of degrade. But this one, and Supernote's other pens that are usable with this thing, use ceramic tips, and they don't degrade. BTW, in case you forgot, pen's mightier than the sword. So we've got some warnings here that, you know, tell you that it's got a high hardness tip, which is only suitable for the screen surface of this tablet. This exact model is the Lamy Safari Vista EMR pen. It's one of 4 pens that they currently have on their website, including the Heart of Metal pen 2, Heart of Metal's Revenge. And they have a push-up pen, which seemed cool. We can get that for next time. But perhaps the coolest one is the Lamy Safari Twin EMR pen, which is both a ceramic stylus and you can switch it to a real ballpoint pen. This is one of the weirdest styluses I've ever seen. First of all, it's got this like fancy pen lid that looks like it's from a real pen. And then this, if you told me this was a real like ballpoint pen, I'd believe you. And you can actually unscrew it and take out the ceramic core that feels like, you know, oh, this would be an ink refill, except it's not, it's just a ceramic thing that goes in the middle. Oh wow, yeah, I feel the give. The Remarkable Paper 2 and some other e-ink tablets that I've checked out, as well as like some, you can get screen protectors for iPads and stuff with like a paper feel. They feel more like paper. The Supernote is trying to go for pen on paper, pen on a pad of paper feel, and they have succeeded. Also, it's got give. The display is supposed to deform. The nib also goes in. I'm gonna use the erase function, 2 fingers on that bar and draw around it, and boom. So there's another 2-finger gesture. If you do 2 fingers, not on the sidebar, but on the screen itself, and draw around an item, it'll select it. You can make it bigger or smaller. Can you move it around? Yes. Look at this, can you see that? There's ghosting on the display. See all those little white lines? That's where that shortcut for refreshing the page comes in. You can just do that and now the ghosting's gone. Oh, I didn't like that one. Undo. Oh, just kidding, I liked it. Redo, bring it back. There's also a more traditional eraser. Oh, this will erase just like little lines on something if you want to just erase a little bit. I stumbled upon another one of the features, which is that you can select things and make it a heading. There's various different heading styles you can select from. Any headings you create, you can go over here and see, oh, there's that heading. So if you have headings in multiple documents or whatever, you can go and skip to sections that you've designated. That's pretty nice. But you also have stars and keywords, which are sort of similar. With the stars, you just have to draw a star and it'll have it be a bookmark. Oh, how long has it been since I actually had to draw one? It worked! You get a star! And then if I go here, it'll be right there. It knows I put a star there. So we figured out that in order to make use of the real-time OCR, you have to make a new note and then create it as a real-time recognition type note. It will support searching your handwriting and exporting it. It'll be a bit faster, but it'll increase power consumption because it's constantly scanning what you're doing. Bell, look! Bell!
Yeah.
That's the A with the I.
Yes.
I kept thinking you were talking about AI. Okay, cool. It recognized my, I thought I said bush apple at some point. That's something entirely different. Here, I'll say re-recognize my text, try again. No, it still thinks it's bush. That's on me. So it is real-time recognition, but if you got a lot of pages to go through, it might take a little bit. This isn't like the fastest processor in here. It's an RK3566 processor, which, you know, it's no Snapdragon. If you're into like sketching and stuff, there's some other eink tablets that promise to emulate the feel of like pencil on paper. This one is a bit more like pen, so it's a little bit more geared towards taking notes with the optical character recognition and all that stuff. Links to other documents, which I'm gonna talk about right now actually. There isn't really a home screen. Like I mentioned earlier, I like there being a home screen if it's like an Android device, it's familiar. There's not that here, but with their linking ability, I've seen some people create sort of interlinked documents that function sort of as home screens that kind of link to other things. So watch this. I'm gonna select this. You can link to another page in the same file that you're in, or you can link to another file. Okay, so I just made this squiggle link to a web page. It's gonna open it. That is a chunky refresh rate. So it's got this USB-C port. They say that you can just plug in flash drives or external storage or whatever. Anyone who is familiar with this platform probably saw this coming, but I just figured out that you have to install Android platform tools and do some more technical stuff than we're prepared to do on this ShortCircuit. So sideloading is definitely not as simple as I thought it was. They said you could install or just plug in a flash drive, but you can use a flash drive and external storage if you have like a document format that's ready to use on here, like a PDF or a EPUB or something. Now, despite the disappointing ending to that sideloading saga, there is an advantage here in that it officially supports a number of cloud services that you can just log into and sync with, which is already a lot easier than the Remarkable Paper Pro, which has the Chrome extension apparently, and you can like just go to a web page and send it to it, but this one makes it a lot easier to send things from the tablet somewhere else. So I guess that's another way in which this device differentiates itself from other tablets that might be a little bit more geared towards drawing as opposed to note-taking. When you're sketching and stuff on a paper-like tablet, you're not gonna export that to something else because it's just rough work. It's like ideation. This is also ideation, but it's more text-based, and you can export it. You can sync it with your cloud services, and you can even turn it from your handwriting into text, which is gonna be easier for other people to deal with and easier for you to deal with on your like computer or something, accessing Google Drive. Now the Supernote Manta is $460. This pen is $90, although they have some slightly cheaper options. And the half folio is $60. So if you want that full setup, you know, it's not gonna be super cheap. That said, it does work with other styluses. So if you have other styluses with ceramic tips, you can just use that instead of buying a new one. It doesn't have some of the niceties like the front light and color. However, it does give you a little bit more flexibility in how you want to use it. A company like Remarkable wants you to use the tablet in the way that they want you to use it. It will allow you to repair the device if anything happens to it. And to me, that is like one of the coolest things about it, is just the fact that we have another company deciding to be a little less cynical about, you know, the kind of cycle of consumerism that we get into with these products. Like instead of just forcing you to buy a new thing, when something breaks. You know, they're giving you that option, and I feel like we need more companies to do that. So thank you, Supernote, for being inspired by the Manta Ray and making a tablet that is basically indistinguishable from one, as far as I'm concerned. And also thank you to this video's sponsor,
Opera. Opera is the feature-packed web browser built for seamless browsing, productivity, and effortless tab management. Not to mention their built-in AI tool, Aria. Instead of cluttering your browser with a sea of endless tabs, Opera's Aria lets you ask questions without opening a new one thanks to the super handy command line. Just hit a shortcut on your keyboard, type your question, and Aria answers right there without interrupting your browsing session. Drowning in tabs? Opera's got your back with their new Tabs command feature. In the command line, you can quickly tell Aria to close, group, pin, or save your tabs as bookmarks. Great for organizing projects or your next vacation. Aria also offers writing mode, where you can create, tweak, or spell check text without leaving your current page, and multimodal answers, which enhance the answers Aria provides with better content, relevant suggestions, and links to more information. And for those in-depth research sessions, you can use Aria in an entire tab. Perfect for not interrupting your workflow when you're in the zone. If you're planning a trip or researching a project, the Tab Islands feature can also help you keep things organized by grouping related tabs, and you can simply expand or collapse the tab islands whenever you want. Opera is simply packed with features that help you focus on what matters and work more efficiently. So join the next generation of browsing and check out Opera for free today using our link in the description below.
So thanks for watching. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think about the Supernote Manta. And if you're looking for something else to watch, e-ink paper related, and it will give some context to this, go watch my video on the Remarkable Paper Pro.